So I had two calls this afternoon. I didn't expect. So one with the author of my book, and then with the ghostwriter, because another like patient, no client, didn't show up. So my issue, I know that she most likely doesn't listen. So this preparation is again like for like she is not prepared, but she says she thinks a lot afterwards. That's not enough. Like I don't see the point. So if it's just so that's actually I should mention Maya more. So they well this weekend they have a project with Vogelwarte, and like this is just an amazing like homepage. So like all the birds of Switzerland and like so on the yeah. So definitely worth to check out. Now in this case, if I ask the question, so with Dr. Cappelli as well, so they made together this video I guess it is here. This Biodiversitätsvideo. So that is an animation they like drew now. When was that? Like 2011, 12, I guess. So and like there, if you ask the question, what would you change if you believed in God, or if you knew? So my claim, God exists. So the potential for that is not much. So like Dr. Cappelli doesn't believe in God, but it's more like with my uncle, the what is that, church gremium president, so the Catholic Church here around here. He is too scared to ask that question properly. He doesn't have time. So like the result is similar. They just don't think it through. And I don't know about it's probably like but for example the pastoral assistant, and that was part of the book project as well. So the initial recordings were like I prepared with her. So she believes in God, right? So like what is the potential for my project? And this is where like Johanna, like she doesn't get that on her own, and I didn't manage to like arrive step by step. I didn't manage to do that. Like that's not enough. It's not enough to believe in God. It doesn't change your potential to improve game theory wise in life. And yes, that would align if you think it through. that's the truth. That is how you properly play a game. And life is a game, especially if you look at it from a mathematical point of perspective, right? And they don't get that. They just don't get that on their own. And then birds, I think it's much more meaningful than collecting Pokemon cards, but it is not that different from when it comes to this researcher's instinct. That's the same as botanics. It's not that challenging actually, and the result will be like with my mother, that she doesn't get on her own how lacking the result is in some regards. Not in botanics. There she is top, right? And this is an issue I realized way too late, how bad my father, for example, is. When it is outside of the niche, he is working. So besides the Altphilolog, so the Greek and Latin teacher, the most qualified was probably Pater Oswald, so biology, chemistry. And there, my father was better, but he was a gymnasium's teacher as well. So not a big surprise there. But I never realized how bad my father actually is when it comes to proper science, because biology is not the same. You don't show the same way. You don't prove with the axiomatically, and you have to do it to build a worldview that is based on math and physics, right? So that I realized with 25, and that's the point of no return. Then it's too late. Well, I just realized my father doesn't have any meaning in life, or I wouldn't have in this niche, without family and salary and so on, because it's about as interesting as collecting Pokemon cards. That's just what it is. From the bioinformatics points, also perspective, right? Or data science, yeah. That's where it would start to get interesting. So I try again, because that part we didn't manage. So my book project, the idea of this challenge. So this is in English, and you don't need to read the book. So the first step would be to check out the homepage, the book. Then you find the example, so the free example, and here, especially for my Firmgöttibub, who is now in the midst of his PhD electrotechnic at ETH, he doesn't have time to read the book, and I don't think it's worth translating it to another language. I think it's worth to buy it and read it as it is, but this is not about this book. It's basically about any book. It's more about the concept to write your own biography, right? Now, an issue is, as long as you are alive, and especially at my age, no one is interested in a biography. So it's different with like Petra Russell. That's just how it is. But when he was struggling in math, so with this incompleteness theorem, so that's part of the biography. I read it, so there he wasn't doing well either in that regard. Well, that's what Gödel solved, right? But like, but he was a complete Banause when it comes to music, but otherwise, like one of the most, like in a way, the last influencer philosopher. Then you find this math puzzle. Here it is, right? And that's nowadays. So I thought there would, so there is one page to solve this math puzzle in the book as well. So like that's the first part. So this code challenge for the numbers riddle, right? And it's a code challenge because this is like, we didn't know about the math Olympiade and so on. I think that's a huge improvement. The now deceased physics teacher introduced Helena Steger, so like from the Soviet Union. So otherwise, I was not a fan at all, like this communistic grading system. But like, that's definitely something we should have seen as well. So that was tested on us as an exercise for the Maths Olympiad, and we were not able to solve it, but we tried 20 hours, and we even tried to code it because it was not part of the informatics exercises, but like we saw it as an application in a way. And so you find the solution in the trailer as well, or if you Google it, ChatGPT assisted, it's no issue, but it's not about the solution. It's about that someone like my Filmgöttiborg would have the opportunity to test versus my former self, right? Before you decide to study math or physics. And it's just so if you want to save up this part, you get the next part for free. So you can either contact me, I coded it, I solved it, then you will get the next steps if you need them, or you tell me you don't want to cheat. So I have just one case so far, this most famous female Age of Empires, also two-caster, my English teacher for a year. So she solved it on her own. And the difference to like other, like she felt like a knight. So once you really manage that on your own, you will not have the same dopamine, like then you did not properly beat me if you coded ChatGPT assisted, obviously. But like, it's not that helpful. Like if you are able to code it with ChatGPT, you should be. Yeah, I don't know. But like there is the connection to the title. Brüche sind erlaubt. So there is a lot of thought put into this title by the author, and this is not something ChatGPT or I would have come up on my own. So I think the title is well chosen, but they don't understand it. So it's not just the contacts that break, it's a hint for this puzzle. You don't need the Brüche is the what is the term in so those slashes in the when you divide, you don't need them for like to solve it. So it's a hint for that. But like, well, that's so you just need 3 of the 4, and then the most important is like the password, and this is this hint. So this video, and like, I mean, I don't get why that part I tested before the book was with my name on it, so my family didn't allow that. So that we tested, and like once they solved it, but like my therapist solved it on his own, and Pater Alois, but like they like it's not that's not really there. It's more that you ask the other questions that are part of the like my red draft of the book, which I left to show the afterworld, like that even though it was all about exit and well, suicidal depression, I was still playing games. That's a mindset not like not everyone has, right? So that's, yeah. And the rest follows. So it's as well that for me this was like what is the like recovery group, this forum. So this key, the Schlüsselwort. Like, the idea is that you kind of can hack with the password my account and enter it, because you can no longer create accounts on postcount. So that would be the only way. So you would need the password and the key phrase or whatever. That's that. So it's of course a marketing strategy. There is also like this aspect of gaming and like internet addiction. So with those hints, you like would be able to solve it, and I will not give further hints. So yes, you to actually then be like like to get the reward, you kind of have to contact me in some form, right? So that's part of it as well. So there would be the YouTube channels, there would be the homepage. So and I'm banned until April, but the 1st of April, if you had an account, you could anonymously like contact me, PM me on postcount, but that no longer works. So that's the situation. Because the hint I left in the book is about so if you want to contact me, it's so there would be this possibility as well. But now there is a homepage and and now I will, so like you probably long lost the attention span. So the only result I have is that I have a Hochbegabung when it comes to visualize like number series. So that would have been good to know, and like that's what so that's a talent, a skill I tried to fully like apply with this project. And this is how I found the proof that God exists. Now, there I will make some examples. So that would be the coaching. But they don't dare. They don't dare to. So like, again, the issue is some already believe in God and don't want to think it through. So then it's just an excuse. I try to discuss it, but this part doesn't get it on. Even if they read it, they don't get it. And the other case where it's obvious that like Elon Musk is not that stupid. If he believed God existed, he would completely turn around, right? Many others as well, but that's a different potential. It's different, right? So there, like Blaise Pascal, his Gotteswager is so this God's wager is that he cannot exclude this possibility that God exists, but it's very slim. So that's how he formulates it. Now, what changed for me with this p-value of the famous experiment I introduced, like that was just for me not a reasonable explanation. So the reasonable explanation for this p-value by ChatGPT as well, by the way, by my father as well, and my math teacher, is that someone cheated. So either the site was hacked, or I just made up those values, or God, the Holy Ghost. So that was the explanation of the math teacher as well. So, and then the next step would be that I would need to show that my data set is real, that I didn't make it up, right? But there, my father stops. So that's just because he is too scared. He doesn't want to allow. That's the, of course, that's the part that needs more effort. So then you need data science to show, and I don't think I need that at the moment, because it's just I know I didn't cheat, right? And so I believed in God because of that. Not in the sense that it is, but this is like a p-value, like in when it comes to like climate change, they have p-values on a significance level, like below 5%, and that's already a significant result, right? So this is like if it's between 6 and 7, then it's more like a royal flush. So one in 500,000, right? You would need to make this experiment 500,000 times to expect this p-value. Now, this much my math teacher and I understood. So that's not an explanation. So as the proper honor of a researcher is that you continue. Like you want to find a better explanation. Now, I have some like a reason that I did start with like all the screenshot sizes and word values is you have to break it down to the bit, the information. Like you have to do that with to properly organize your thoughts, you have to do that as well. So that's the quest, the lifetime quest everyone avoids, myself included. I did exactly the same until the accident, right? And that's what needed. Not all the time, but you would need to do that like once a year. Organize your thoughts like you would as a data scientist your folders and so on. And it's similar. It's a similar. It is similar work actually. If you do it proper. So yeah. And then there were with the recordings. So there was this recording with the psychologist with the generic initials BH. So that's on post count, I guess, as well still. But I shared it on like this stuff. So like, does that find something? Oh no, that's here. And maybe I would need to do advanced search. Egal. So that's that recording. It was just that it randomly turned out 9966, I guess. So you see 1 megabyte and then you like upload it and you see it's this 9669 is a lot of I mean Bach used that as well. So I discussed it with the numbers of bars because he saw 6 and 9 as a B, like upside down B, and so yeah, so this eternal B, and the other is 388, I guess. So the capital B. Then there was another example with Maya. There it was just that I sent a screenshot with email, and it was 422, and the 0.4 you didn't see, so this symmetry. So like, I understand. What is the point, you might ask? But the issue is that they don't dare to ask that question. What is the point? Like, at the time, there was not really much of a point to it. But if you believe that God exists, that all follows. Like everything, every moment is God is aware of it, right? And it changes. It changes like well, the worst part is not. I think there is a lot of potential, by the way, for like ghostwriting, like KI for good. You can use that for a lot of good, show all those false excuses for that. It's just not yet paid, but like, to ghostwrite master thesis for the economics, like at the HSG in St. Gallen, that is not, I mean, this is not really the most honorable work in my opinion. But much worse are the ones that like ask and then don't show up, like today for the Zoom call. So if they would be aware that this is all noted down by God, right, as we understand it, they would behave differently, right? So that's why it's the most important work, of course. Now, that was not really meaningful. It's just this is my Hochbegabung. I don't forget those things. Then the much more meaningful, like, and so this is like encouragement again I needed, was when the wife of my doctor psychologist died. So there I made this recording as a, what is that in English? So Beileid. That was this Almond recorded. Now, do I have that here? No, I guess I don't have it. So that's with the Snoopy, so it doesn't really need. So randomly, I made a recording of 2 minutes 50. I didn't see that. I sent it as a condolences message, right? And because that's, I guess, a photo he shared with me from Barbara, the dog, it was this setup that it was like a Snoopy and the favorite BWV Bachwerkverzeichnis of the author of the book 127. So that's about the soul rests in Jesus' hands. So Herr Jesus Christus war Mensch und Gott. So that's the and so it was for me, it was just this visualization. And it's the phone number of my therapist, which his wife, of course, knew as well. And if I would have known that earlier, it might have been enough to save me from a mental hospital visit. So I learned that by heart. So it's like a reversed Snoopy 127 and then the Snoopy. And he picked that phone number because it's connected to his, like my birthday, this symmetry. So that's not enough. You have the initial, so it's not even enough to, like, that's why I don't know if this is a good example to share too much, but it illustrates how that works for me. This is, I guess, something that just, there I am probably quite special. I never encountered even remotely someone that is able to do that. And that's just, for me, it was always like that. So I was the fastest in elementary school to recite the 13er series, and not just from the class, like from everyone the teacher ever encountered, and by far. So I was like twice as fast as anyone before me, right? So like, yeah, but so that's, it's not that helpful, but I made a mistake in this recording. I played the empty string because I was this exhausted. Otherwise, well, compared to I'm surprised how well that recording turned out. So because I didn't practice at all, and I was no longer fit on the instrument. So that's more like important for me. And it's like with the book, it doesn't make the book better, but I had, like Czernyszewski and Heinrich Heine, I had to get it through this censoring. So my mother and so I solved that with this like WhatsApp chat. So and those puzzles, and like I already there I recorded everything, so I was not able to type much, right? So that's it's just like Chernyshevsky had to write 400 pages, otherwise it would have automatically been censored. And it's not that easy to write something in 400 pages that would need 12 normally. So that's, it's just, if you don't know that, it's not readable. And that's what they completely lack with every book, the Bible as well. You need this context. You need to understand this was written 2,000 years ago, and it doesn't make the book better, but it makes it like as a generation project. They did their best, and there were not many projects since that where I would claim the same, right? So that's, yeah. And then, I measured 3 times a day in 2021, and a whole year. So I wanted to check, for example, if Walter Gehring is part of Time Point, is like the history part of important figures they mention, which they don't mention him, but like Einstein and Gandhi they mention, and then I did the same in 2024. I just continued so to see if God somehow underlines if it's like an important date or something, and I didn't figure out much in that regard, but I continued. And when the time was exact, I went for like a record to try to get a 0, right? So for a perfect 0. And then I managed that, and this is a folder with so this word value of checkmate and schachmatt. Checkmate is 69, and schachmatt is 96. So again, I would basically instantly find the screenshot in all the 40 plus gigabyte data I left, because this is the important slide, right? So that's, to show I really have my data organized. And again, I did that because like it's fun. I didn't. I always did that. So even if I like organized Kasperltheater, I did that, right? So and then I got another like notch, I would say, for like when the laptop broke down, I had this Datenrettung, and so I revisited. So I remember it was one of the first 960 chess events, so Fischer chess, Fischer random chess in the Weißen Haus. I followed. There I made. For me, it's interesting when there is this lottery for the starting position. So, as I understand, 518 is excluded because it's the normal starting position. But like a lottery, they pull. And so I made a prediction. My prediction was 336. The content, so I guess I can continue because they have no issue with more than 40 minutes. I do not have a plus version, but like it doesn't matter for them, I guess. So I can continue. Yeah, like the position was 333. So 333 is one of my first definitions. Like SK hot is a value I explained that with the hydrants is Dushan. So the S, this S in Dushan is 333. That's longer, would be a longer explanation why, but that I definitely defined before. Now, when I checked the screenshot, where that was my issue. So this value, another Snoopy, was where my statement was how important it would be to have friends. So I guess most would come up with this statement, and well, it's important. Like if you are in a mental hospital situation, right? And there it was that Niels actually called me, and that's another issue. It's not that I never forget things, but when there is nothing happening, I don't forget it. So it was kind of the same with the call of the author. Like I still remember the last call, and she doesn't, because for me there didn't happen much since, right? And so that was the same situation, and for me it was like I remember it was this interesting for me, but like we talked about. So I already tried to mention that I was doing this experiment. He was probably too polite to hang up, but then it was about the book information theory. So for example, that you can store the information of a chessboard. So it was about this chess joke, I guess, in 3 bits. So for me, this was, I had to look it up. It's similar to a phone call. So a lot of frequencies are cut, and we are able to reconstruct that somehow, right? And I played the time point is game with him. So and he was 3 away from the, like, that I remember. So his estimation was 3 away from the one that happened. And so the screenshot. So I set it up that, like, if the time is symmetrical, it is not. Then the statement is this pointless statement, the symmetry of time. Now I had to revisit this screenshot on the saved, to restore the data from the broken down laptop, which is, by the way, so this one my brother gave me for free, would maybe be like 150 Swiss francs. The one I have in the vitrine it was the Neptun Angebot, the absolute, so the first yoga, like touch screen, was not very good in that regard, but like it was 2,700 Swiss francs, so the best laptop you could buy, and like because at ETH it was like half the price, right? And so I revisited the data, so those screenshots of this experiment, and I didn't remember that I actually took the screenshots. I took the screenshot 33 seconds. So I showed at 3 a.m. that I'm already up. So that's not a good sign. Now I luckily have normally better sleep. But it has to do that I carry the clothes inside out when I sleep. So I improved because of that, not because my back got better. So I sent the screenshot and I took 3 off the symmetry. And I didn't remember that. And then the size of the screenshot, so I could just do it again. The size of the screenshot is still the same. But the size of the screenshot is 333 kilobytes as well. So that's my story. So in both cases, 3 off. And now you like that's the issue. That's the issue. There I started to believe in this well, it's not for me it was never nonsense. But like with Blaise Pascal. So now I really started to take that serious. I would never have continued otherwise. And then, I mean, there would be a lot more where it is like coincidences in real life. So like that you encounter the bird in the right moment, and so stuff like that. But that's not needed. I need to show how, like that's for me the impressive part with like Jesus or Petrus. They did not even have that as proof. So those martyrs, they lived according like on a hunch, like Blaise Pascal, right? So that's well, that should be no longer needed because I was able to show this. But we don't need to go further to those examples because they are not like stochastically, they are not sound. Or they are like, you don't need more. That's the issue. They don't. That's it. That's the it. And then there was one more, like which I fully filmed with cadence. So that would be another lecture entirely. So that's my issue. Someone like Kay or like the client today. So that's what they do. Their whole lifetime, that's where there would be so much potential. They just leave cadenzas all around. And that's not the same as like Bach did not even properly. There is not really cadence in the prelude of the second suite, but Starker still plays one there. So this stare I mentioned to the Almond from so BWV, the violin, the second violin partita, so BWV 1004, I guess. And the second suite is BWV 1008. So that's still, or this is the whole purpose now for me of this YouTube channel. So in total it's like twice. So more like 700 uploads now. So where do I have that? It's maybe not that far back. So do I have it in the playlists? So to Existenz Gottes, I would bet. Yeah, here. So I this is the part where the cadence is at, right? So I discussed this, and here I am already completely convinced in the existence of God and in my project and scientific value of it. It's just I still am kind of hopeless that I will ever manage to share this. So the reason, it's more that than I don't have doubts. I thought it through. That's not the issue. And here I fully recorded it. So I changed the X-Sync for so my X-Sync for like Jesus is 127 or it's like rest in peace is 127. So there's a long but I kinda shared it here. And then 172 a permutation is because it's the word value of two kind of women I admired, and this is what I used because it was twice on a time point is day where Einstein is mentioned that I had this X-Sync. So 172 is in the context with Einstein. And so on. So for Stark, there's this Age of Empires player, Stark. So Stark is actually 65, because 66 is already the word value of Krigu and the reduced word value of water and Kraft. So because there is this Choral number CO2 in the Gastspieltheater Zürich version of the Satan Archäolygeni alkoholische Wunschpunsch. Now you see, with this method, I would be easily able to remember 50,000 digits of P if I needed to. But I don't see the point in that. So I already delivered. My story is completely ordered, saved up. I have a hard time to forget it. So that's how that works, right? So it's so I recorded it, that I changed the Janos Starker X-Sync I defined here as 166, and the next time I went to the time point is I recorded everything. It was that X-Sync. And I was talking about this cadence, and I went to INCEL because I didn't remember the cadence that Pater Bibi, so Daniel, he composed this cadence for the third Brandenburgische Concerto. We recorded it, so I went back and listened to this. And that's another thing I introduced, in 2017 I have already recording. So this, in German we have A, B, AH instead of B. So B is then, I don't know, B flat or something. So I introduced in German so this A, B, B. So a new term, right? So it's A, B, C instead of AH, AHC. So yeah. And I mean, Bach, of course, B, C, H. So that's not like, I don't know why they all tried. Like Schubert, for example, wrote a fugue on this theme. That's just like, that will never sound right. And it doesn't. That's just not like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So that was not the point. The point would have been to write like Brahms kind of managed 25th contrapunct for the Kunst der Fuge or something. Not Bach-themed Fuge. That's nonsense. But I mean, as an exercise, why not? But there are so many that it's not about that. It's not about that. So but I managed. So in 2020, I would not have managed this in 3 weeks. That changed. It's still a lot of work to break this down, I guess. But ChatGPT Pro shouldn't have a hard time because it's not difficult steps. It's just more than you normally expect from the average human, like